Hey guys, I'm Shelby and this is my adoption series. So to start off, I was adopted at birth. My birth mother was very young and she knew she couldn't take care of me. So she decided to put me up for adoption. My adoptive parents couldn't have any more kids. They had one. They tried and tried and tried and couldn't have another one, so they decided to adopt. Like I said, I was adopted at birth. I was adopted straight out of the hospital. I was born, and just a couple weeks later, my adoptive parents came and got me. They met my birth mother and spent some time with her, and then they brought me home. My parents never hid it from me that I was adopted. They always wanted me to know, and props to them, because how do you explain that to a young child? I don't actually know how they did that. I should really ask them, but I always knew I was adopted. I always knew that I got here by somebody else and I came to them because I was meant to be with them. And honestly, I really was. But like I said, they never hid it from me that I was adopted. I always knew that somebody else got me here. They always wanted me to know my birth family. They always wanted me to know my birth mother, and they always wanted her to be part of their family because she is. We had contact for, I think, about a year and a half, and then I got sick with spinal meningitis and encephalitis when I was about a year and a half, and they lost contact. This was 2001. They lost contact with her and couldn't find her. Through the agency, they tried to find her again because they wanted to get a hold of her and let her know that I was sick, but couldn't find her. The agency couldn't help them find her. So we had contact with her at first, but then just lost. It was 2001 and lost contact. In, I'd say, 2011 or so, my mom, who I know as my mom, we call her Momda. Her name is Rhonda. We call her Momda. She was on Facebook one day, just out of the blue, and saw a name she recognized on Facebook. It was my biological grandma. And she sent her a message on Facebook saying, "Hi, this is who I am. I don't know if this is who you are. We don't want anything from you, but this is who we are. If you're who we think you are, please message us back, let us know. We don't want anything from you. Just wondering if this is you." And she messaged back immediately, and all of a sudden we were back in contact with my birth family. We chatted with my biological grandma for a little bit. I'm not sure how long, but we chatted with her for a little bit, and my birth mother didn't have a Facebook page at that time. Most of her family did, but she didn't. So like I said, we were in contact with my biological grandma for a little bit, and then she gave us her phone number, and then a little after that, she gave us my birth mother's phone number, and then just like that, we were back in contact. And my birth mother didn't have a Facebook page for a couple years after that. I got a Facebook page I believe not too long after we found my biological grandma. And I had a Facebook page for, I don't know, year or 2, 3 maybe, and then my birth mother got a Facebook page and started chatting more from there, and just kind of been in constant contact ever since. And I'd say when I was in high school, I've been out of high school for 5 years, I'd say maybe 10 years ago. I'd say maybe 10 years ago, we started getting in more contact, and I met her for the first time, well, second time technically, when I was 15, and then after that, just constant contact, text messages all the time, a couple phone calls, every birthday, holidays, and things. And I'd say when I was like 16, when I was in high school, I used to message her every single morning before class. And we're just in constant contact. And in 2017, I had just started my senior year. A lot of my friends graduated the year before I did, so they had just graduated, and I didn't have a lot of friends at school anymore. And I told her about that. I'm autistic. I have Asperger's, so it's really hard for me to make friends. I called her one day. We were just on the phone, and I told her that, a lot of my friends graduated and, didn't really have a lot of people there anymore, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, "Well, just make new friends." it's very hard to make friends when you're socially awkward and you don't really know how to make friends, you know? It's really difficult. So, and I tried to explain that to her, but I was only 17, so I didn't have the knowledge of how to explain that to her. I just kind of shut down, and when I'm going through something difficult and I don't know how to deal with it, I just shut down and I block everything out and I go about the rest of my life. So, I didn't have a whole lot of contact with her for, a couple months, I'd say. Okay, it was the beginning of my senior year, and I think I messaged her, like, every morning. I messaged her in the morning, like, before class, a lot of days. I'm not sure how long I did that before I just kind of shut down. But after the first time I met her, I asked my momda, if we could invite her to my high school graduation because she didn't get to graduate because she had me. And of course she was like, yeah, absolutely, cool. But I was going through stuff with her, and I just kind of blocked it out and ignored it at the time. So I had my dad video me walking across the graduation stage, and then I sent that to her, and she's like, oh, that's so great. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there, because I wanted her to be there, but I was going through things in that situation, so I just kind of blocked it out at the time. And then a couple months or so, or something after that, I think maybe a year, I was 19. She called my mom and left her voicemail saying, hey, Shelby's dad just got out of jail. He emailed me, gave me his number, just wanted to let you know. Left her voicemail about it, and then my mom just told me about it, and I listened to the voicemail, and this is, at this point, at this time when she left the voicemail, that's when I started documenting my entire life regarding my adoption. Since then, I have documented on video and on paper almost everything that's happened to me, as much as I could that's happened to me since then. And this is kind of like, because I made a reaction video of me listening to the voicemail about my biological father, and since then I started videoing things, and I wanted to start, like, releasing these videos on my YouTube channel. So when I went back and watched it, I was 19, and there's a lot of growing up that you do between 19 and 23. There's a lot of growing up that you do between 19 and 21. So I went back, and I haven't gotten to it yet, but I want to refilm it with the original video, but slice out the parts that aren't necessarily something that I would want on the internet, because, like I said, a lot of growing up happens between 19 and 21. So I just haven't gotten to that yet, and I've wanted to start putting out videos about my adoption series for, I think it's been 2-3 years now. It's probably been 3 years now, but like I said, I'd pick it up and then I'd put it down, just because life gets ahead of us and life happens, and, you know, we have other things that we have to do and get done. So I've only released, I think, a video or two in the adoption series. I'm not sure if I know I started a playlist, but I think there's actually only one video in there, and it's of how I view my mother and my mom. And one of the clips in that video is me meeting my birth mom and my grandma and my siblings when I was 15. And I don't think the video of me visiting them when I was 16 I don't think I released that yet, but I want to. But like I said, I've been working on this series for a while, but there's a lot of twists and turns, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of things happen. There's a lot of family drama that's happened and things, and it's all just trying to figure out how I want to deliver the information, and I want to make sure that it's something that I'm okay with being on the internet, and something that won't cause harm to anybody's reputation. I have reached out to both my biological parents and said what I would like to do and how I would like to put my series out there to potentially help other adopted kids and other people affected by adoption. I told them that I would like to do that and put it out there, and I'm not in the business of ruining anybody's reputation. I just want to share my story, and there was a lot of things that happened to a lot of people, and people have grown and changed from where they were at a certain time in life. So it's not necessarily me making fun of anybody or like trash talking anybody. It's just what happened, and I told them that as well, that it's not trying to ruin somebody's reputation, and I don't really care what happened, but I would just like to know, because I was adopted, and it's interesting to know how you got here. So that is all I have for right now. I don't think I've released any other video like this on my channel in the adoption series yet. I've tried several times, but I just didn't like how I made the videos. I wasn't happy with them enough to want to post them. A lot of them are like, okay, cool, yeah, I'll go back and edit them and do whatever. But then I was like, that's not how I would want it to be. You know, it's not like, oh, I don't like this. It's just, I wasn't happy with it enough to be like, okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to put it out there. So hopefully, this one will go live soon. It's not too long. The other ones, I got way off track and got way ahead of myself, but this one was pretty simple. So I'm thinking that this one will be released soon. A lot of this is just, you know, me being me and me just wanting to tell my story, and maybe it'll help other people in their situations. I don't really know, but I know that maybe something like this would have helped me in my situation when everything was going on. So yeah, if you like this video, then stay tuned for more videos like this to come out on my adoption series. So yeah, thanks for watching.